Day one, flight canceled. Austin, how are you feeling after flight cancel?
Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do now, but hey, that's why we leave a day early, so we won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, you always leave early, but we'll have to figure it out. We'll just gotta keep it updated. I have no clue. It's a great first flight experience. Let's go. So Alex, what's happening? We just landed in Florida, so
we landed in Florida. We were supposed to go from here to Dallas Fort Worth Airport, but they decided to not. I think it was like a miscommunication on the airline's part, because the plane that was supposed to take us to Texas never came back from Texas because of the weather. So now we gotta go through TSA in the next 40 or so minutes, go right back to Charlotte, and then go to Texas. So we're probably not gonna get there until around like 1 a.m.
all right, Alex, what time is it?
Oh, it's update time. It is currently 11:22 p.m. We tried to get on a 10:30 p.m. flight. Didn't work. The next available flight's at 5 in the morning. That's not even a guarantee. We might end up splitting. John and I might get left behind. And then the next flight after that's 7. And then after that. And then after that. And then after that. We might never make it. We might die in this airport.
John, give the update.
So, we got our boarding passes. We got guaranteed seats before our 10:30 booking. We got in the tunnel. They pulled us off. It's delayed again. So now we wait till 6. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Yeah, it's 6 in the morning, by the way.
Yeah, we slept in the airport.
Yeah,
Cody and them took a photo of me sleeping in the floor. That was vile.
I'm gonna put it in the video.
They had a whole pin code on the bathroom door, bro. For what? You gotta know the pin code to piss, bro.
Which means you gotta go ask them for it.
No. You gotta know the...
You going?
This is sound of a bag. I'm getting money, I get racks, just like a crab. Came from the bottom, now I'm at the top. This is the sound of a robot. Went to Japan and spoke to a target to Japan.
The standard is to win ECAC, not just in the fall, but in the spring. We're going to make it to May Madness. We will be in Arlington, and hopefully we will make a deep run to where we can solidify ourselves in this Collegiate Rocket League community.
CECC Rocket League. Let's get it started.
Arlington, want to hear you get loud because these players certainly deserve it. There's so much going on for these players internally. We talked to both of them before this series when they're warming up in the pit. They were not nervous. They were confident. They were feeling like it is their day. But of course, only one team can come out, and really, game one is where we set the pace. Who's going to be coming out with their first strike? Apparently, he had played out of his mind. Every player we talked to said that if he does that again, Concord are impossible to beat, and maybe this is another iteration he can do on LAN to cap off the 24-25 school year, and maybe he can do it because the defender is simply not ready.
Patty just not aware of this shot coming in here, and I think he just kind of trusted in 5-foot bullseye to get the pass out. He has a full tank of boost, but as soon as he starts moving downfield, you can see Helix turn, immediately put the shot on target, and the first goal of the series is going to go to Concord.
Players for the Zips clustered around that near post, which means nobody's marking Helix. He's going to be patient, and he's going to be the sniper of that bottom 90.
I know we don't want to talk about Helix too much because we already had this narrative way back in fall when we talked about him a ton during the CRL championship, but this is kind of the player you have to watch for this exact reason. He steps up when the pressure is on him. Some players crumble underneath it. Helix, he turns into a diamond, but they still need another just to see an overtime, and they also need to prevent Crispy from flip resetting into Helix. Perfect pass, perfect shot. Helix got a hat trick.
Yes, sir. First game, we're wondering, hey, is he going to be on? Well, he's certainly taking the advantageous route towards these goals. It's always just lingering in front of the net, being able to be delivered something, but you still have to beat out that defender. Very good job by Helix to not shy away. The last thing you want to do against Akron is play too passive. That's exactly what they took advantage of against Northwood. Concord has watched the VOD, and they've taken their notes.
Done a great job here of studying up upon their opponents, and again, this is a team that Concord said they were not all too fearful of, as Helix scores his 4th goal now of the game. Again, they really said that St. Clair was the only threat. They've taken them down, and they might take down Akron if they keep playing like this.
We're talking to Concord in the pit, not to direct quote, but they were more or less saying this is a matchup we feel confident about, despite the fact that we did mention Concord has won most of their engagements with Akron except for Kentucky. Helix is not looking weak at all. Now we have to see if the Zips are strong enough to fight back and go blow for blow. Maybe it's with Patty through the air. Helix, nice contest and safely to the
backboard,
corner.
Inside of net, really doesn't matter where. They just know where to be at the right time. The problem is when you have a passing play like that precise in front of net, there's no way you're stopping it.
Crispy's not rotating out because he hears the call out. Smas to say, I'm just going to tap this one. I don't know if the defender's ready for it, and that is exactly why. The recovery was there, but not on the deflection to further that one into the net. Concord taking first goal, and again, they're starting to cruise. This
right now, scoreline 5-1 goal differential in favor of Concord, and it's not just been the goals that they are scoring, it's been the ways that they've been assisting each other. I want to see who gets the assist on this one. It's Helix. It's actually a bit unique. It's been Crispy who's been the playmaker, but again, everyone getting involved.
He's also staying close to it. He also understands that a lot of what Northwood was trying to do last game or last series in the semifinal when Akron defeated them on broadcast was taking awkward 50s, trying to slow the play down, but Concord instead saying, I'm going to advance this downfield, and if you want to play for that angle, I'm going to play the hard read. Something Akron's trying to get going as they had an electric offense in the semifinal, but it is all but dissipated under the weight of these counterattacks.
The counterattacks are not only clean, but it's every individual carrying what they need to do here. This is great from Smoss. Perfect first catch, and then immediately baits out the challenge and flicks it straight around them. Again, this is precision that only players of this level can pull off, and they're pulling it off over and over and over and over again. That is 7 goals through just about 8 minutes of play. They are all more than capable of winning in a 1v1 environment. The problem, though, is I think that goal is going to go right back for Concord, and indeed it will. It was a little bit awkward. The first shot goes off target, but all of Akron not prepared for the follow-up.
We said respect on this one. Crispy actually going for the Spanish. He actually misses the first player, almost gets the second, but it's enough to make Patty dive into the goal, and he can't recover to get that save. He has just a pixel or two below it. Concord continuing to roll that 4-1. Akron gets a brief shining moment on offense, but beyond that, not much, even including this one. Chris, game 2. Halfway to a sweep is Concord University, and they're looking to do damage because right now it's looking like they brought a sledgehammer. Come on. Sledgehammer.
Unfortunately for Akron, despite the fact that they might know this playbook, they might have actually written many of the chapters, doesn't mean that they aren't susceptible to it.
But I'd like to at least keep the option open for Akron and keep the window open, maybe like this one, because Samas going to go by it, and which means Patty Patty, playing patiently, gets his first.
This is the Patty we need to see. No fear in the challenges. Yesterday was mostly on the ceiling. Here, it's out in midfield. Recognizes the awkward touch from Samas, does not think twice, and immediately bangs it on target. The first lead of the series for Akron. Now the question is, can they hold it for another 4.5 minutes? Helix barely, but low boost totals. A passing play required. To the backboard it goes, and Bullseye, maybe a bit too much power, spikes it to the ceiling, but 5 up there to not kill the play. This one's still going. They're keeping it up. Helix, one more pop, but this one to the ceiling, and 5 up to finally spike it down. Akron will defeat their demons. A complete change up in game 3 to cut the lead in half. We are facing off Akron, who are finally starting to figure it out.
Biggest thing about between game adjustments is that both teams are eligible for them. Concord understands that that wasn't necessarily a blowout victory like the ones that they have been able to claim, but you do not want a rerun of that last episode. And right off the rip, they have a decent chance. Samas not trusting that the save will be enough. He's just going to lob it up and over and then send the house. How about the third coming in with a lead blocker to boot?
You could see everything falling apart from the initial double commit right there. 5 up and Patty both go up for it. Bullseye with quite literally nothing in the tank is like, all right, you know what? Good luck to me. And he's going to need more than luck. He's going to need a save. He does not find it. And Concord start the same way as they did in games 1 and 2 with an early goal within 30 seconds. To grab some boost and to not make mistakes on defense. If I'm not mistaken, that's a team bump out at midfield.
I was not sure where the defense was. The binoculars are out, but I don't think you can see anything except for teammate on teammate violence. Sometimes you just want to dap up a teammate, but you can't do it in the middle of the game, especially with your front bumper to the T-bone side of their car. And with Patty's first goal in this game, the problem is you need to be able to organize. You need to be able to say, hey, take this one after I spike it to the ceiling, or maybe do it yourself. The dunk sets up Samas 2-2.
There we go, Concord. That's what we need to see. Great plays out of Helix and just unbelievable confidence. You got to feel for 5 up. He has just a little bit more boost. He can probably pinch that off the top bar and at least clear it far enough away that somebody can't immediately follow up. But when it's just the lightest touch just on the line, that's going to be more than enough to find a goal for Samas and the tie up for Concord, but only momentarily.
And it's all too familiar. Patty, where are you going? That's not the ball. It's okay, because I know exactly what I'm trying to hit. Bang, Helix sent into the next zip code. And unfortunately, he's going to have to find a ride back to the Esports Arena and ready up for another kickoff. A brutal way to give up your equalizer. Akron back in the driver's seat with under 2 to go.
This is, even when they make a mistake and basically shoot on their own net, they're still not conceding. This has been a complete turnaround. Akron, through the first 2 games, conceded 8 goals. After that, they conceded 2 and then scored 6. 2-2. We are guaranteed a game 6. I'd love to get to 7, but let's find out who gets the series point first.
Plan. Therefore, Concord able to take it forward and desperately wants to get forward on offense. It's a strange phenomenon to be scoring basically at will in the beginning and then suddenly realize I'm not entirely sure how we even get these shots through.
They're trying right now. Maybe it comes to the sidewall and Helix with a double to the backboard. Unfortunately, he's going to be met with a player, and Crispy will now have to take over. To the ceiling he goes, and 5 up will meet him there. And again, this has become a more and more staple part of the play here for Akron as they consistently make these challenges on the ceiling. And initially, it was just Patty. Now it's going to have to require everybody, because if you miss the challenge on the ceiling, this is what Samas does.
Several segments of every air dribble. First touch, second touch, and then final improvisations if you need be. Samas doesn't get the boost he needs. He doesn't have the angle he needs. He doesn't have the speed he needs, but he knows that one player's in this back post, one player's in the sidewall. If he shoots it low, maybe it is enough.
However, Crispy, good follow-up, looking for some bumps, finds some awkwardness. Helix the double, leaves it for Crispy, or excuse me, Samas. It doesn't really matter who's shooting it. All of them can bang it on target.
And that's not the easiest of shots, as Helix can ricochet this one. Samas has to get around it, but also jump fast enough to use that flip, get that extra power, and dig that hole a little bit deeper for Akron to try and crawl out of, still within the first minute of Game 6.
Perfect may not even be enough. Brilliant save from Concord to still keep this a scoreless game and then give themselves another goal. Helix perfectly timed reset, baits out the final defender, and opens the net for Crispy.
Man, what a spiritual gut punch to be able to flawlessly pick out the top corner and flailing from the backboard. Concord still gets the save, and not only that, but almost immediately down the back end, Helix gets a flip reset to facilitate a wide open finish. Concord, their kickoffs apparently mirroring their confidence. They're sending 2, they're sending everybody at these reads because they just trust that they have this planned out better. And seemingly, this offense from Akron, a temporary distraction from Concord dominance.
I'm a little scared because this is looking exactly exactly like our first 2 games. Concord just coming out with the firepower, shot after shot, offense after offense, with just precision, and not only precision, team play.
Concord knows the position they're in. They know that Akron has to rush and make decisions like that. Everybody going forward, leaving the goal unattended.
That's gotta hurt. Again, another goal that I'm not gonna say is preventable, but you know the only reason that goal even goes in is because Bullseye, as the third man, says it's now or never. I have to dive. I have to try, and you have to try for another 2 minutes, but it's gonna be a long hill to climb. This is getting worse and worse for Akron. Felix looking for bumps, Patty looking for some sort of relief, and will not find it. That is more than enough time. Concord, you might have let it get a little scary, but it doesn't matter. You get the job done. Concord are your CECC 2025 champions.
When we heard about these transfers coming over from Europe, it wasn't just that they're going to be good, they might just be the best. They win CRL Fall, they fall out to the eventual winners St. Clair in spring, and then they defeat them to go on to the grands of the last LAN here for the semester here in Arlington, taking a dub over Akron. An admirable effort from the Zips, but I don't know if anybody was beating Concord this weekend.
Ring season, baby.
Austin. Let's go. Alex.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's
We gotta carry it off. All right, guys. I will do one more thing. The main right here completes the entire
My biceps are burning.
One holding the trophy, one holding the MVP, but one putting the name on the wall. CECC 2025 champions of Washington. Come on. Wonderful. And they are doing such a wonderful job. Congratulations, guys. 1 for 1. Next year, 2 for 2? Yes. 2 for 2 next year. Maybe we'll see them defend this title right here.